All right, let's talk resumes. We all spend so much time perfecting the words. But what about the blueprint, the actual structure? How you architect your resume can honestly be the difference between getting that interview and just getting lost in the digital shuffle. So let's get into it. Here's the hard truth, the fundamental challenge we're all up against. You can pour your heart and soul into that document for hours, but a recruiter, they're probably going to give it just a few seconds. That's it. That's your entire window to make an impression. It's not a lot of time, right?
So the multi-million-dollar question is this: how do you build a resume that screams "hire me" almost instantly? You know, how do you make your profile so crystal clear that a recruiter just gets it in a single glance? Well, that's exactly what we're going to figure out today.
First things first, we have to start at the very top of the page. Think of this as the most valuable real estate in the entire document, and we've got to use every pixel wisely.
It sounds so basic, I know, but you would be shocked at how often this gets missed. Your name, nice and clear, followed by the specific role you're targeting. That's it. This one simple thing immediately tells the recruiter who you are and why you're even there. There's no guesswork, just pure clarity right from the get-go.
Okay, let's tackle one of the biggest structural mistakes I see, one that trips up so many seasoned professionals. It's time for what I like to call the great reordering. Just take a look at this. On the left, you've got the common mistake, education right up top. But for anyone who's been in the workforce for a bit, recruiters care way more about what you can actually do. So we flip it, like you see on the right. Lead with your skills, then your experience, and let your education be the supporting detail at the very bottom.
Now, of course, rules are made to be broken. There are a couple of key exceptions here. If you're a recent grad, yeah, your education is your biggest selling point, so put it first. And if you graduated from a really big-name top-tier school, that brand recognition is powerful. Go ahead and put that at the top too.
All right, next up, the skills section. This is such a huge missed opportunity for so many people. It often ends up looking like a junk drawer full of random keywords instead of the strategic showcase it should be. Does this look a little too familiar? It's just a long, messy brain dump of every skill you've ever had. For a recruiter who's trying to scan this in 5 seconds, it's just noise. They have to hunt for what's relevant, and let's be real, they just don't have the time for that. And this is the solution: structure. See how we're not just listing things, we're putting them into neat categories like core technical and tools. But the real secret weapon here? It's that third column, expertise. Adding context like beginner, intermediate, or hands-on is an absolute game changer.
And that is the entire point, isn't it? This structured approach does all the heavy lifting for the recruiter. It lets them see if you're a good fit in seconds, not minutes. You're making their job easier, and trust me, that makes you a much stronger candidate right away.
Okay, now we're getting to the heart and soul of your resume, the work experience section. This is where we need to stop just listing our duties and start telling a really compelling story about the value we bring.
This quote absolutely nails the mindset shift we need. I mean, anybody can list their job responsibilities. What's going to set you apart is showing the impact you actually made, the value you created. Let's look at this side by side. Responsible for Project X. It's so passive, it tells me almost nothing. But now look at the value-focused version. Wow! It tells me you led a team, how big it was, the exact technologies you used, and, most importantly, a quantifiable result, a 15% increase in efficiency. See? That's not a task, that's a try.
Okay, you've built this beautifully structured resume. It's looking great, but before you even think about hitting send, there is one final, absolutely critical stage to make sure it's perfect.
This final review is a super simple but incredibly powerful 2-step process. We're going to start with a machine and then finish with a human touch. First, run it by an AI, and then get feedback from a real person. Think of AI as your first line of defense. These new generative AI tools are amazing at spotting gaps, catching awkward sentences, and just making sure your language is sharp and clear. It's a totally unemotional, data-driven checkup that can really clean up your resume. But here's the thing. An AI can't tell you how your resume feels. For that, you absolutely need a human, a mentor, a friend in the industry, a recruiter. They can give you the ultimate reality check. They can answer the big questions. Is this story compelling? Is it relevant? Does this make me want to call you? That human touch is completely irreplaceable. So as we wrap up here, I think the key thing to remember is that you don't need to completely reinvent the wheel. These are small, strategic, architectural tweaks that can have a massive impact on how your resume is perceived.
At the end of the day, this is all about making your resume easier to read and understand. A well-architected resume respects the recruiter's time, it communicates your value clearly, and it dramatically increases your chances of making that shortlist.
And that brings us to the end. I want to leave you with a direct challenge. Don't just listen to this and move on, actually apply it. Pull up your own resume right now and ask yourself, what is the one single change you are going to make today to make it better?